want to look at the President of Zimbabwe's utterances, because I want to say something about this matter. Let's do that.
Central Committee don't go and go to one of my
ungada urimenya kana akapfura pone wanepi kana kudenga iko yakadero yakino yakanaka yakasonaka zvokuti heki
asiyoka ene taiziva kuti vanhu vokuwadzana vasingadi kuti mvura inaye taingoti amikomba itirove.
Do you know that if it was in other places, Pastor?
Yes.
The day President Mnangagwa said these words, the people were going to ask him to resign with immediate effect. He was making a speech, and in his speech he said, if we had known that the drought is as a result of the Kwazana residents.
Yes.
He said, we would have said to the army, let's mop them up and beat them up. Let's gather around them and beat them up. Clearly, and this can be a matter that can be taken to any court of law. The president admitted that he is using the army for his personal interest to harass, to torture, to persecute, to oppress the people of Zimbabwe. So I have not too much to say about our president, but I have not been talking about Zimbabwean politics for some time now. I'm sure you can agree with me. I have not been doing that. I have no intention to start, because the moment I told you the things that I said last time about our situation, I said Zimbabwe needs a savior. Those were my last words. You remember, Pastor?
Yes, I remember.
And after saying that, there's nothing more to say. There's nothing more to say.
Yes.
Those who want to ask anything, they should go back to what we said. But today, as a man of God, I also have a job that I should not abdicate on. I have a job to always and constantly speak on what God would be expecting in our land, so that we know how to find favor with God. So there are two people now. We have pastors and prophets and bishops who love to pray for Zimbabwe. They attend prayer meetings with the president. And then there is me. You don't find the politicians at our church. You don't find me at those prayer meetings. There are two reasons why I don't attend those prayer meetings. The first reason is that I won't come back alive. They've expressed their interest to kill me several times and in diverse manners. You see? And make no mistake about it, I think I may also want to say this, Pastor. I am one person who has never desired to live anywhere outside my country, no matter the financial challenges we may face. I'm a homeboy. I love to be in my home country. So my absence from Zimbabwe has nothing to do with the state of our country. It has all to do with my inability to function. Things had become so bad that it was not just about the fear that they are going to attack me as they did so many times, but the space was now closed. I no longer had the space to do my work. I could no longer go to the first street place where I was going to preach. I could also not go to church and do my church services in the normal way. They harassed me all day round. So I want to say this because there are people who do not understand what exactly is happening. I can tell you that if my security in Zimbabwe is guaranteed, at any time of the day, you will find me in Zimbabwe. I don't admire any other country. I believe when God made me a Zimbabwean, He wanted me to play whatever role I play from within my home country. But I speak to these political issues. Also, maybe before I do that, I should say there are two reasons why I don't attend. The first reason is it's not safe for me to attend prayer breakfast meetings where after prayer people will drink tea. I won't be able to drink that tea because it will be poisoned. But the second reason is it's not allowed for the president to call me to prayer. It's not scriptural. The president cannot plan a prayer day and invite me. It's not allowed. I am the man of God. The president is not a man of God. If prayer is to be made, the initiative for prayer can never come from the president. He has no spiritual ground to call for prayer. So every time the president calls for prayer, by making that call, he has already excluded me. I don't attend on that behalf, on that basis.
Yes.
So it has to be clear. So why do we speak like this? We speak like this because as desperate as our situation at home has become, we still need the voice of God on what is the way forward. And you don't find the voice of God from everyone who purports to be hearing from God. Before someone is believed to be hearing from God, whether or not what he says come to pass, it's another story. There are parameters that those who know God must examine to check. If we want to find out who can we ask counsel from God with, because people don't just go to ask counsel from God. They have to find out. How do we know a true man of God? I'm not going to teach that either. So the counsel of God is obtained from a true servant of God and not from everyone who says he hears from God. Some many months ago, I asked the question, is our president fit for the office? And those are some of the remarks that made them to be so angry, and they vowed to take my life. But I don't know believers, I don't know Zimbabweans, and anyone who is in his right mind. How on earth does a population attend a rally, and at that rally, the president threatens the people and declares that the military is now a weapon of his party? And then people clap hands for such rhetoric and reckless utterances. How is that possible?
Yes.
I told you Africa is cursed. You said Apostle Chiwenga doesn't want Africa to be blessed. Is this a sign of a blessing? When a president talks like this, Is this a sign of a blessed nation, Pastor?
It's very, very difficult now to try to figure out, because the security or the military, they must secure
the people.
The people.
Yes.
But if the security is now the threat, then how great is the threat?
If we had a proper military that knows their constitutional mandate, the commander of the defense forces the following day was supposed to issue a statement to the nation. We distance ourselves. That is what he should have said. The military distances themselves from the statements of the president. They are not just insensitive, they are reckless. They paint a picture that the president uses the military against the citizens who are the bosses of the military. In America, it happened. There's a general, we played that video some time ago, who came out and made a press statement and he apologized to the American people for accompanying the president on something that was not ethically right for a uniformed serviceman to be a part of. The military is there to protect the citizens of the people. The military survives on the citizens. The Zimbabwean people are the ones that pay the salaries of every soldier in uniform and every police officer, and not the president. When they are taking oath of office, the soldiers, they pledge to defend, to protect, and to uphold the Constitution of Zimbabwe. The statements of the president were not just inflammatory. They were a confession of what he has been doing since he took office. If somebody dies and is gunned down by the military, it's no longer necessary to do a commission of inquiry. The president already announced whenever he feels that the population has done something wrong, he sends the military to beat them up. That's very unpresidential, to the extent that Mr. Mnangagwa does not deserve anymore to be described as His Excellency. He is no longer His Excellency by making such utterances. He is not fit to hold that office because of these utterances. He is not. But I have already questioned the mental health of our president. I wonder, when I did that, I didn't err by not questioning the mental health of our people. I'm beginning to realize that it's not just the president who needs to visit the psychologist's room and get them evaluated. How do you celebrate tyranny? How can we ask why the president is so cruel to the people if we are the ones who are granting him a pledge of impunity? Do whatever you do, Mr. President, nothing will ever happen to you. Mm-hmm. Why are we never listening to politicians and question what they say? Why don't we listen to them? When the president said these words, did anybody listen to these words? Did anyone at all hear him speak? It's a question. I'm wondering. This is not right. The mindset of our people is more corrupt and corroded than the mind of the president. In certain free world countries, that very night, there was going to be an uproar in the streets. Pack and go. You are no longer the father of the nation. You are now the butcher of the nation. You don't deserve to hold that office. There's no man of God who ever speak like this. Because everyone is selling their souls to them so that they may find a space to live freely. In Africa, it's either you are for them or you are against them. There is no middle ground. There are people who actually believe today that what I'm speaking today is because I don't love the president. I don't know what exactly they call love. There are people who believe that one day I want to run for office. That's why I criticize. This is not a criticism. This is a comment that exactly addresses what happened. Every sane person could be saying exactly what I'm saying right now. If you think there's nothing wrong with what the president said, you need to take your medication. You are not in your right mind. Let's play it and let's play the other stuff again. This is amazing. This is appalling. This is disheartening.
Vanhu vokuwadzana vasingade kuti mvura inaye taingoti amikomba itirove. Asi yoka ene taiziva kuti vanhu vokuwadzana vasingade kuti mvura inaye taingoti amikomba itirove.
Kolami yokutanga ZANU-PF anditika musangano wedu, musangano wenhaka, musangano welifa, musangano watakapuwa na Jehovha, musangano wa mbuya nyanda, pamberi na mbuya nyanda, pamberi na mbuya nyanda, pamberi na mbuya nyanda, pamberi na Jehovha. Basi na certain
Comrade Chitando, that when I was member of parliament for Kwekwe, I constructed a state-of-the-art mortuary with 12 bays. Very cool. Mukati macho. Saka ndikati ni vanhu vomumbizo Kwekwe. Pane price ye family chatanga kuisa munumu. Kandi hospital kwa kuna mwanga atoshaya vakabva vangowina price. Patapinda mochari mutawana chitanda ane 6 ma days ema bodies anotonorera andangopinza ruboko andako.
Some very many years from now, our children and our unborn children are going to spit on our graves, and they are going to not like to be associated with us. They are going to feel very ashamed that we had a president whose mental health was not stable and nobody figured it out and nobody questioned it. Not many years, very few years from now actually, when all this circus is over, our children, some are in their diapers right now, and others are still struggling to walk. They are crawling. They are going to ask us when we are in our gray hairs, and they are going to say, Daddy, were you in a state of coma for maybe decades when these things were happening? Were you drunk the whole year round and all this time, maybe for 10 years were drunk or something? How on earth do Zimbabweans see this president of ours and not to question his mental health? I wonder. Why I say his mental health, it's because he enjoys speaking like this, when he talks things that do not make sense, things that are actually very offensive to the people, he likes it and he laughs and he looks around himself to see if people are seeing the joke in what he's saying. That is not, those are not symptoms of someone whose health is 100% well. It's not fine. It's not fine. I'm telling you. He offered a prize for the first person to die and go into the mortuary that he constructed with his money. And this man is supposed to build roads for us. And this man is supposed to build the economy that provides jobs to the youths. And this person is supposed to uphold the constitution to save the people of Zimbabwe. Who brags about the temperature of a mortuary cold room? He must be entered into the Guinness Book of Records. I'm sure they will find some title or some description that fits him. I don't want to take that responsibility. I don't.